Hi, it's Mark from Top Local. We're here with Bernie Pawlik, Pawlik Automotive in Vancouver. 17-time winners of Best Auto Repair in Vancouver. They just picked up another award. How you doing this morning, Bernie?
I'm good, really good. Yeah, I'm proud to say we won the Best of the City in Westender again this year for Best Auto Repair. So thank you for anyone and everyone who voted for us. We really appreciate it.
I voted because you look after our vehicles, and I appreciate it deeply. So we're going to talk about a Lexus RX300. You had a water problem with this vehicle. What was going on?
Well, there was a lot of water in this vehicle. The carpet was completely soaked. There was you can hear water sloshing around in the carpets. Front seats, back seats, passenger and driver's side were completely soaked with water. It was a real mess, and it didn't smell very good either. The leak had been there for quite some time.
So how did you go about finding this kind of flood damage?
Well, there's a few things we can do, and we always start with the simplest things. One of the simplest things, any vehicle that has a sunroof, often the sunroof drains will plug up, and that'll cause water leaks to come into the vehicle. So first thing we test is the sunroof drains. Are they good? In the case of this vehicle, they were fine. Some vehicles also have some common leak spots, and so we'll go to test those particular areas too, things we know that are common. Now, in this vehicle, there was nothing. The sunroof drains were good, and the common leak areas were all fine. There's nothing coming out of that area.
So where did you go from there?
Where we went from there, things became really complicated. We had to strip the interior out of the vehicle, so we removed all the front and back seats. We removed the console. We removed the carpets. Basically, we removed everything from the inside of the vehicle on the floor. We dried everything out because that's critical to figure out where the water is coming in. There's no obvious spots. Before doing that, we'd sprayed around the vehicle and didn't see anything obvious. So there's a lot of places water can leak into a car. So this was the first step. We removed everything, hung the carpet out to drip out, to wring out, and drain the water out and dried the inside out. That was our first step. And then from there, we were able to spray the car down and find leaks.
What did you find?
Oh, so we found a few things. We found there was one, the floor of the vehicle on the passenger side, there's rubber plugs that plug the floor. One of the plugs was missing. Now, that was probably a very minor contributor to a leak, but nonetheless, it was a source. Especially if you're driving, water will spray up and it can seep in under the floor. There was one cause. The right rear door, the seal around the door at the top was leaking. A lot of water was coming in through that. We were able to actually install the seal, and it worked fine. It didn't leak at all after that. So the seal had kind of slipped out of position. It wasn't really obviously noticeable beforehand, but once we started spraying, we could see water coming in, and we knew, okay, that's a leak. The third leak, this was the more complicated one, was coming from around the front of the vehicle area. And this involved a lot of disassembly. We could see water leaking under the dash near the driver's, so where the driver's left foot would be, called the dead pedal. It's like a sort of fake pedal where you can rest your foot. And actually there was a leak from that piece as well. There was a bolt missing, so that was causing water to spray in. But there was a leak further up, and we couldn't quite see the source of it because there's so much wiring and bits and pieces in the way. So we ended up taking the fender off the vehicle and the wiper linkage and everything to finally spray. And we found that there was a leak at the very bottom left corner of the windshield. So we had that resealed. We don't do windshields ourselves. We send it to a windshield shop, had it resealed. Then before we put everything back together, we resprayed the vehicle, verified there was no water leaking. And we also had the carpet shampooed as well because it was in pretty stinky condition and dirty, so it's a good thing to do while it's all out. So I'll share a couple of photos just so you can sort of see the magnitude of what we have to take apart here. So this is the front left corner of the Lexus with the fender removed. So you can see there's a lot of stuff off of here. The water leak was actually, this is the corner of the windshield, was most noticeable when we sprayed in this area, but with the fender in place and all the wiper linkage and the panels at the back of the vehicle here, it wasn't obvious where the water was coming from. It could have been 10 different places at the back of the firewall. So we were able to verify 100% where it was leaking from. The other photo I'll share with you, this is just a pile of some of the parts that were removed. So you have your fender here, the inner fender liner. These are the cowl pieces that go on the back of the vehicle, the windshield wiper linkage. Just so it kind of gives you an idea of the extent of what we have to do that we go through sometimes to find a water leak.
So how do you charge for this kind of a job?
This type of job is basically, it's just hour by hour. We have no idea of knowing when we start out where the leak's going to come from or what it's going to entail. So we can give a rough estimate, you know, of how many hours we think it's going to take, but really it's, you know, it can be anywhere from a couple hours to 10 or 12, depending on what we have to remove to find it and then what needs to be fixed. So we found some interesting things in the past. We had a Mazda once where, you know, there was a cracked body seam on the passenger front, and the water was just would spray in under a certain time. And again, this was like we had to pull everything apart inside the car. So it happens from time to time. And usually when you get water this much in the vehicle, you really want to take it apart and dry it out anyhow, because it's pretty bad, and you can get mold and health issues with that too.
So this is definitely an older Lexus, 17 years old. Was it really worth fixing it?
I think so. You know, Lexus, they're really well-built cars. I mean, they're Toyotas, but they're a luxury line of cars. So the features are a little ahead of their time. They're always, you know, they're really nice cars to drive new, and still at 17 years old, it's still a nice car to drive. So I think, you know, it largely depends on the mileage and how many dollars worth of repairs. But we have a lot of clients with older Lexus that continue to repair them, and I think they're worthwhile. You know, they're well-built car, and you know, worth keeping.
So there you go. If you're looking for service for your Lexus in Vancouver, these are the guys to call. Pawlik Automotive, again voted best auto repair in Vancouver. You can reach them at 604-327-7112 or check out their website, pawlikautomotive.com. Thanks, Bernie.
Thanks, Mark.